guys, my name is Katie and welcome to this video presentation for becoming a train driver. Now this video in particular is going to focus on the situational judgment assessment for your selection process. Okay, so train driver assessments. Now train operating companies in the UK are starting to use a form of situational judgment test, and these are often referred to as situational judgment exercises, or the SJEs. And another name for this test is the TDS-JT. So the TDS-JT was introduced as an additional way to help train operating companies assess the safe working capabilities of potential train drivers. Now, during the old assessment format, most people who attended the train driver interview would pass over 90%, and so a new series of tests was introduced to improve the quality of assessments that are given to people who wish to become a train driver. Okay, so train driver situational judgment. So the reason that this test has been introduced is so that train operating companies can determine how candidates are likely to perform in a safety critical role. As you will be fully aware, the rail industry has an excellent safety record, and the assessment of candidates in relation to their safe working capabilities is paramount. So this form of situational judgment test has been used for many years now, and in other safety critical roles such as the police force and the fire service. So it is becoming a popular assessment during job selection processes. So the questions are all presented in a similar format. You, the applicant, are required to read a passage and then decide which of the presented 4 options you would likely to carry out first. Now, the TDS-JT is a very strong indicator of how a trainee train driver would be likely to perform in any given situation. Now, these situations will vary and they will all assess how well you would deal with a particular situation. So of course the situational judgment test for train drivers is not a perfect assessment, simply because it's very difficult to replicate a highly pressurised environment in which a train driver would find themselves in. However, the sheer fact that an applicant would need to answer the questions whilst under timed conditions adds a certain level of pressure to the assessment. Okay, so a sample question for the situational judgment exercises. So you are driving a train and you are approaching the platform at present train station when you realise there is a person up ahead on the track. What would you do? Answer A, immediately apply the emergency brake before informing the rail safety centre of the situation. B, inform the rail safety centre before applying the emergency brakes. C, allow the train to come to a safe stop using the normal braking procedures. Any sudden braking is likely to cause disruption and potential injury to passengers. D, allow the train to come to a safe stop using the normal braking procedures before informing the rail safety centre. So here you are required to choose your answer based on what you would do in that situation. So let's look at an answer for this question. So whenever you're answering this type of situational judgment question, always remember the word safety, okay? That's paramount for any person who wishes to become a trainee train driver. So ask yourself the following questions when looking at the options provided. So which of the options is the safest, and which of the options looks most likely to be taught during trainee train driver training? Okay, so remember those key questions when answering your situational judgment exercises. So in actual fact, the correct answer will be one that requires the most common sense. So for example, option D states that you would allow the train to come to a safe stop using the normal braking procedures. Any sudden braking is likely to cause disruption and potential injury to passengers. This response does not apply the most effective use of safety operating procedures, simply because it's likely that the person on the track will be seriously injured or killed. Okay, so in actual fact, the only 2 serious answer options in this question are A or B. So you can eliminate options C and D because they're just not relevant to handle this situation. So you will notice that the action you would take for each response are the other way round. So during option A, you would stop the train first before informing the RSC, whereas option B, you would inform the RSC before applying the emergency brakes. So the correct and most appropriate response to this question is actually option A, simply because it's safer to apply the emergency brakes first before informing the RSC. Because if you inform the RSC first, by the time you've applied the emergency brakes, the train may still hit the person on the track, okay? So it's all about safety and thinking ahead. Okay, so you got top tips, okay? So some real golden nuggets that you should remember for your situational judgment exercises. Okay, so there are a number of things you can do in order to improve your scores during the TDS-JT. So the following tips will help you to prepare effectively and improve your overall ability to pass this type of psychometric test. Okay, tip 1. There are many types of situational judgment tests available on the market. Just because you are applying to become a train driver doesn't mean you should focus solely on train driver related SJTs. So my advice is to obtain as many test questions as possible from all different genres and practice accordingly, okay? Tip 2. When you read the question, you will be presented with a situation. Read the situation quickly before scanning each of the presented options. Immediately dismiss responses which common sense tells you that they are incorrect. Then focus more on the responses you have left, and among them you will be the one that presents the safest working practice will be your chosen answer, okay? So remember, elimination. Tip 3. You do not need to be a train driver in order to pass this type of test. What you do need is to be safety conscious. So when assessing the situation and presented options, always remember the safe side of any particular situation. So you've got to think ahead. Remember, safety is absolutely paramount at all times in the rail industry, whether it's the safety of your passengers, yourself, your colleagues, or the rolling stock you are responsible for. So under no circumstances should you put your passengers, crew, or rolling stock in danger, okay? So you have to avoid those types of situations at all costs. So that's it for this presentation. Now, if you do want some more further testing questions for situational judgment, I've provided you a link here so you can click on there and you'll be given some more advice and sample questions. If you do have any further questions regarding train drivers and how to become a train driver or the process involved, please visit www.howtobecome.com, where there's a lot more information for you to read about, and there's lots of different testing products and courses that you can undertake in order to pursue your career as a trainee train driver. Please subscribe to the channel, it is free. Please like this video, share this video, and if you do have any questions, please drop me a message below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you for watching, I hope this has helped, and I wish you all the best of luck.